back to another video. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, welcome back. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a story time. The story time is actually kind of sad. Well, not kind of, it is sad. I was kind of contemplating on posting this video, but I mean, you guys are my supporters. I want you guys to be updated. I want you guys to know what's going on. And plus, a lot of people were asking me, like, in my DMs and stuff, like, what happened? Like, why were all those cops there? Like, give us a story time. Tell us what happened. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick story time on that. First, before I begin, I just want to say rest in peace. And I'm sorry for the family for their loss. And I just hope everyone is doing okay and coping and just being healthy and better. To begin, we went to Miami on vacation. It was a nice vacation. We went with some friends. We went to the beach, like went to the yacht, you know, everything was fun. But like I said, it ended like pretty bad. So basically, let's just start from the beginning. So me and Zay went on vacation with some of our friends. Two of our friends we know from school and from around like our neighborhood. So it was supposed to be four of us, me and Zay and the girl and the boy. I'm not gonna use any names in this video because I don't want anybody coming for me. I don't want people like all up in the business like that, and maybe those people don't want their names to be in it, so I'm just not going to use any names. But basically, me and Zay were going on vacation with our two friends, which is also another couple. So it's supposed to be two couples, like a double date type of thing. From the couple, the girl was like, I have a cousin, she also has a boyfriend, how about she come, you know, we'll like have fun. So there's three couples that were supposed to go, and we're like, okay, like that's cool, like a triple date type of thing. The girl from the third couple basically said she had a friend, that he was going to come alone, he's basically single and stuff like that. So it was three couples and one single guy. So which was fine because, you know, like he figured he might meet somebody there, or like he was fine and stuff like that. So we basically was trying to think about our sleeping arrangements. From the beginning, I said I just wanted a hotel because I know how Airbnbs can get when people are talking about prices and people fighting over rooms, and like it just gets super messy. So I told Zay, like, let's just get our own room. And plus, like, we want our privacy anyway, but we can always meet back up with them at any point or at any time. Like, let's just get our own hotel. And he's like, no, like we can probably save money if we like stay with them in Airbnb and stuff. So basically, finally, I'm like, okay. And I agree to go to the Airbnb with them. We all put our money down. We all like picked our rooms and stuff like that. Everything was fine. So like I said, it was three couples and the one guy was single. So of course he didn't want to, like, what is that, like six will, so he wanted a friend to come. So one of his friends, like childhood friends, lives in Miami, or lived in Miami. And he basically invited him to our Airbnb because he's like, I don't want to just, y'all all got your boyfriends or girlfriends and I'm by myself, so let me just bring like my friend here so I won't be super alone. So instead of the 7, it was 8 of us, plus it made everything even. Everyone basically had a partner, if I should say that. So all weekend we went on the yacht, everything was fine. We went out to eat, we like partied in our Airbnb, like everything was basically going perfectly fine and well until the last night, or the last day I should say. So the night before we had to leave, which was like a Saturday night, we went to the guy's mansion. He lived in the mansion, the friend's friend. We went to his mansion. We had a good time. We were supposed to get in the pool, but it was like super late, and like we all have our flights in the morning, like let's just go back to the Airbnb and kick it. But the guy's like, no, like, I don't want to go. I have schoolwork to do. And like, he wasn't really trying to come back. So everyone else was still like drinking and having fun. But at this point, I'm getting like kind of tired and stuff. So I tapped Zay and I'm like, can we just like go? Like, let's just go back to the Airbnb. Like, they're taking forever. It's already like 1 o'clock at this point. So I'm like, let's just go back to the Airbnb. So we go back to the Airbnb. I take a shower. Zay changes his clothes, and we're like just chilling. And then we can hear like everyone else coming back as well, like from the guy's mansion. Um, after that night, I basically just stayed in bed because I'm like, we have to get up so early, and I'm not a morning person at all. And I'm like, I'm just gonna stay in bed. Zay was like, I'm just gonna stay out here for a few, then I'll come to bed. So he came in bed after like 30 minutes. Um, so supposedly the guy from the mansion came back to the Airbnb because I guess the friends were like, it's our last night, bro. Like, just come, like, kick it with us. Like, we're about to go back to our state. Like, this is our last night. Come back. So the guy came back, and I'm not true. Like, I'm not sure what actually happened at night because, like I said, I went to sleep. But I guess they was turned up and partying and drinking and doing all types of stuff. So anyway, in the morning, so Sunday morning, I wake up. I look to the side and I see Zay is not in the bed with me. So I'm like, where is he at? So I didn't even think to look in the bathroom. The first thing I thought just to look in the kitchen. Like, I don't know, I just thought he might have been already up and dressed and like ready for me to like wake up to go. But so yeah, so I'm walking around the Airbnb and I don't see him, but I see the one guy like on the couch, knocked out, snoring so loud. And then I see another guy on the floor that, and he looks like he's asleep, but he's like on the floor and like kind of like slouched over basically. And but I didn't think anything of it, and I'm just like, wow. Like, in my head I'm like, they're like knocked out. Like, what did they drink? Like, what did they do last night? Like, they're like gone basically. And so I start like looking and scoping the scene, and I see like everyone else is gone. Like, the couple we came with, the other couple were gone. So it was just us four left in the house, me and Zay, and then the two guys. So yeah, I'm like, where's everybody? Like, what is going on? Why is this guy on the floor? Why is this guy snoring on the couch? Like, it was just too much going on basically. So I go back to Zay. Oh, I finally find him. He's in the bathroom like washing his face and stuff. And I'm like, they're like knocked out in there. Like, should I wake them up? Like, what should I do basically? And Zay's like, let's get our stuff together. Let's pack up all of our like cups and trash or suitcase. Like, let's get things packed up, and when we're on our way out the door, we'll tap them to wake them up, to let them know like, wake up, it's time for checkout. So like 30 minutes pass. We're basically getting our stuff together. I'm going around like the house getting like my trash and stuff. I went to get my breast milk because I was pumping the whole trip out of the fridge. And then I noticed like that guy was still on the floor, like literally not moving at all. So I go back to Zay and I'm like, this guy is like, he looks like he's dead. But I'm not saying it literally. I'm just saying like he's basically rocked. Like, he looks like he's dead, like rocked basically. And Zay not taking me serious. He's like, oh, he's probably just super knocked out. Like, they were turned up last night, da da da. So I'm like, no, like he's like not even moving at all. Like, he is knocked out on the floor. So Zay was like, let's just get our suitcases. I'll wake them up when we put our suitcase near the door. So we roll in our suitcases near the door and everything. And so Zay goes to the couch to get the one friend, and he's like tapping the friend, and he's like, yo, like, your friend is on the floor, like knocked out, slumped, like, you need to come wake him up. Like, basically, what did y'all do? Blah blah blah. So we finally wake up the friend from the couch. He gets up. He like, what's going on? What's going on? We're like, your friend is on the floor, like knocked out. Like, you need to come get him. Try to wake him up. So he walks over and he's like trying to tap him. He's like, bro, wake up, or whatever. He's not moving like at all. And I'm at this point, my heart just drops to the ground because I'm like, yo, like, is he really dead? Like, I literally was about to have a panic attack. So I'm just like, oh my God. Like, at this point, I'm like, what is going on? So he's like tapping him like, bro, wake up. And I'm like looking at his hands and his body and now I'm starting to notice like, oh my gosh, like his complexion, his skin is turning blue. Like he looks like dull, like no life like at all. Like his hands were blue, his face was turning blue, lips, everything. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is he dead? Is he dead and stuff? And he's like trying to tap him, bro, wake up. So at this point, I'm having a full blown panic attack. So I hurry up and get my phone. I'm like, I'm calling 911. I call 911 and I'm like trying to tell them like, this guy is in our Airbnb. He's not waking up. Like I think he's dead, And so Zay's like, we have to put him on his back. So Zay and the other guy laid the bull down on his back, and he basically did not move, did not wake up or nothing. So I'm like looking at his stomach, like we're trying to find the pulse. There's no pulse, there's no breathing, like his stomach's not going up and down, nothing. So I'm sitting there on the phone with 911 and I'm like, he's not breathing, like I think he's dead. I don't, and so they're trying to ask me like, what's your name, what's your address, so what's going on, did he take anything? And I'm like, I told him like my name, and I'm like, I don't know this address, this is the Airbnb, I'm not from here, I'm on vacation. And she's like, find some mail on, like, find mail around the house. And I'm like, this is the Airbnb, like this is not that type of house, I'm not gonna find just mail laying around. So Zay was like, I had the location. So he showed me the location. I reported it back to the caller. And she's just like, the police is on their way. Like, just try to give him CPR. So at this point, I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, there's no way I can give this man CPR. So I give the phone to his friend, and his friend basically had to perform CPR on his own best friend. Like, it was just like a sad morning and a sad day, honestly. So we're the friend doing CPR. I'm still like in shock, just like staring and just like hoping like he like wakes up. But he just wasn't waking up, he wasn't getting up. So we heard the like cops and stuff, like we heard the sirens, so we run outside because they're like starting to go down the block, and I'm like waving them down like, hey, over here, come over here. And so the cops finally come. They're like, what did he take, what did he do? And I'm like, I don't know, I have no clue, I went to sleep early, I just found him this way. And then I called 911 basically. So our flight was in like 2 hours. So once like they came, they took him out in the ambulance, and like the cops and stuff were there. So me and Zay are like, this is crazy, like this is really like too much. So we're like, but we have a flight to catch, can we leave? The cops are like, no, you guys are not catching that flight, you guys are not leaving, you're staying here. So we missed our flight. Our flight was for 11 a.m. that morning. We didn't get home until the next day, like 2 a.m. basically. So we missed our flight, and we had to wait for detectives to come, people to question us. They split us up. So at this point, I'm like, what did they think is going on? Like, did they think we had something to do with it? Like, did they think like it was some type of foul play? Like, I was just so confused because they were acting like we were suspects in a way. So I called my mom, and I'm like telling my mom like what's going on. She's panicking, she's scared. She's like, I'm gonna call you an attorney. She called me a lawyer. They're saying they only can represent me and not Zay. And it was just like too much was happening way too fast. I'm like, there's no way I came on vacation to have a nice time and this happens. So yeah, they asked us all these questions. What happened? What did he take? What did he do? I'm like, I don't know. I don't do any drugs. And I'm definitely the last person to talk to, because like I said, I went to bed the night before way earlier than everybody else. I was the first one to sleep. So I don't know what they were doing last night, basically. And I don't know like what he took. I didn't know that he was on drugs. I don't even know this man personally like that. I just met him like 3 days ago. Like I told them everything I knew, and they still was like holding me. So I'm like, oh, what the heck? So so yeah, we're like on the phone with like the plane companies and calling the rental car place and like trying to tell them like we're in a situation because we didn't like we were stuck, like we didn't know what to do. And then a flight back was literally like $800, so we were stuck, like stuck in Miami, stuck with like our phones about to die because we couldn't charge them because the cops were like, stay here, don't move, wait for the detectives. We had to wait for the crimes unit people to come to take pictures of the scene. We couldn't even like walk in that area. Like they had the whole thing like crossed off as if like it was like, I can't even explain like how it was, or like the fear that I had, like on top of seeing a dead body, waking up to that in the morning. Then the cops are here, like my anxiety. I have a son at home, like so much was happening way too fast, like too much was happening. But I truly felt for the one guy because that was his best friend, and he had to perform CPR on his own best friend. He basically seen his own best friend dead. Like that was just way too much. Like he had to he was the one who had to tell the parents of the guy, like too much was going on. And that was just like the worst way to end a trip, like honestly. But anyway, finally, after hours of interrogation and asking us all these questions, the cops finally let us go around like 4 5 p.m. or whatever. So all this happened like 9 a.m. We were let go and free around 4 and 5. So yeah, and then we just basically went home. They did tell us the cause of death, and he basically OD'd. He had way too much alcohol intake, and he had some type of drugs in him, pills or something like that. I don't know. So he did OD, and that's why he is now deceased. And basically, with that being said, leave the drugs alone. Stop taking drugs. Stop popping pills. Don't drink after anybody because they can put something in your drink. Be smart about what you're doing. And also, don't even room or go in an Airbnb with people you really don't even know. Because honestly, they could have brought that stuff to the Airbnb and saved the cops, ran everything down, which they basically did, and found something. I would have been in jail just because I was there, and like conspiracy, which I had no clue of like what was even going on to begin with. But the fact that I was there, I could have been arrested. So yeah, that's basically the end of the story. Thankfully, I wasn't arrested. Thankfully, it's all over and done with. I do feel bad for the family, and I'm like so sorry for their loss because he was only 24 years old. Like he was young, and the fact that he was there with us on a yacht and out to eat with us and just there and then gone the next minute just lets you know like life is just too short. Like that's basically all I have to say. I don't really even know what else to say. Um, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see all of you guys in my next video.